Shalom, shalom, shalom. Brother Tawalai, back again with a quick lesson. Um, as usual, these these warmongers are preparing themselves, or setting things in motion, or keeping the lies going, doing the things they need you know, to what they believe is to rule the world. That is their ultimate goal, to take possession of the whole earth. And you know, they've got their plans in motion, and just want to bring this quick out. This is Joel 3:9, and it reads, "Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles: Prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up, beat your plowshares into swords, and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong." And we know what the modern day spear is, the missiles. And all of these nations are building up their armories, and preparing themselves, because everybody outside Jake can see what's about to befall the whole earth, the whole world. Only Jake is still running around in a full-on sense of folly. Continuing, it says, "Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Let the heathen be weakened and come up to the valley of Yahweh Shaphat. For there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about." This is the KJV version. And, hey, this this world, this time that we live in, hey, everything is manifesting itself and coming together just as the scriptures prophesy. So with that, before I begin, I want to start by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rahah Chodesh. Double honors to my apostles, elders, bishops, leadership of Great Millstone. Peace and salutations to the house of David, to the 144,000, and to the men, women, and children scattered throughout the four corners of the earth of the hopeful elect. To you I say shalom. We're going to bring out a few scriptures. As always, I like to begin in Proverbs 9:9, and it reads, "Give instruction to a wise man, and he will be yet wiser. Teach a just man, and he will increase in learning." This is made possible through the fear of Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, is the beginning of wisdom, and the knowledge of the holy is understanding. So none of this is going to be received if you don't, first of all, if the Most High hasn't deemed you worthy to receive it, and second of all, that you don't fear Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Christianity has taught our people pseudo love. It's not even real love. Love is the keeping of the commandments. So how can you love when you're taught the commandments are done away with? Nevertheless, this is what Israel has put themselves in akin to. This is what they want, and they want to believe that, hey, the laws are done away with. And they'll fight you to stand on that. So, as long as you got the message, as long as we deliver the message according to Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, as it is written, after that, hey, if that's what you want to believe, so be it. So be it, But all through the scriptures, New Testament and Old, you're taught contrary to what you run with. So we're going to bring some scriptures first, then we'll bring this quick short, and we'll make that our lesson. Yahweh Ratazah be edifying. So I'm going to jump down here to Jeremiah and 49 and 20, and it reads, "Therefore, hear the counsel of Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, that he hath taken against Edom, and his purposes that he hath proposed against the inhabitants of Teman. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them." And hey, this scripture, it speaks volumes, because hey, what does it say here? It says, "Surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them." So hey, the least of the flock, and we know who that is. They're going to bring hey, this superpower with them. And we know what the scriptures has set for this particular superpower, which is known as Babylon the Great. Desolation. It's going to be a desolate wilderness, along with the land currently being inhabited by the small hats. So let's get these next couple scriptures, then we'll let this quick video play, and Lord willing, like I said, that's edifying. This is Revelations 11 and 18, and it reads, "And the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come, and the time of the dead, that they should be judged, and that thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants the prophets, and to the saints, and them that fear thy name." And if you're walking around in the purple and gold, you really ought to be considering this, because it's clear as crystal. It's clear to them that fear thy name, small and great, and shouldest destroy them which destroy the earth. So that you have to be a blind man living under a rock in the middle of nowhere, buried under a mountain, not to know who this is referring to, whom since he came back into power in what, 1492, in the 1400s, late 1500s. Basically, since he came into power, he's been on a destruction quest. There's nothing that he hasn't destroyed. This land here, he hasn't occupied more than 500 years. Yet the water is poisoned, the earth doesn't give forth its bounty, the air is contaminated. Everything he touched, he ruins without measure. He hasn't found anything that he doesn't feel like he should be able to draw a profit from, no matter what the destruction. As long as he can draw some type of profit. Let's keep going. It says, we'll start at 5, Psalm 64 and 5, and it reads, verse 3, who wet their... Let's start at just 1. To the chief musician, a psalm of David. Hear my voice, O power, in my prayer. Preserve my life from fear of the enemy. And we know the enemy is going to come in like a flood. They're preparing their weapons of war now. They're preparing their councils of war. You got 800 generals that are called in to come together. It says, hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked. from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity. Job, Job 9:24, the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. You know, Esau Edom, he is the border of wickedness, who whet their tongue like a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words, that they may shoot in secret at the perfect. Suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not. So, hey, we know all of these things that are happening are for the controversy of Zion. That's why everything is going down as it is going down. The Most High is in control of all of these movements. Nothing is happening outside of his jurisdiction, outside of his desire is to gather the nations. You know, it says they encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of lying snares privately. They say, who shall see them? They search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search, both the inward thought of every one of them and the heart is deep. But the Most High shall shoot at them with an arrow. Suddenly shall they be wounded. So they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away. Hey, and we just had 50 nation representatives walk out on BBB at the union at the UN, so that slippery clay, that miry clay is now beginning to manifest itself in these feet, and these nations that were in league with each other that had these agreements. These agreements are now beginning to fall apart. They're no longer holding water. This is Isaiah 59 and verse 3. And at one time this was, hey, this was talking to our people. It says, behold, Yahweh's hand is not shortened that he cannot save. So right there we know, hey, he ain't talking to the Gentiles, he ain't talking to the heathens. But see, this now would apply to you damn devils who've taken on, hey, the man, you've heaped to yourself things that you ought not to have put on yourselves. And now there's a judgment for what you've done. It says, neither his ear heavy that he cannot hear, but your iniquities have separated between you and your power, and your sins. And what is sin? Transgression of the law. Have hid his face from you that he will not hear. For your hands are defiled with blood, and your fingers with iniquities. Your lips have spoken lies, and your tongue hath muttered perverseness. And in this time we can equate all of this to Esau Edom. His hands are defiled with blood. His fingers are thick with iniquity. His lips have spoken lies. His tongue hath muttered perverseness. None calleth for justice. This speaks volumes to Esau Edom right now today. Nor any pleadeth for truth. They trust in vanity and speak lies. They conceive mischief and bring forth iniquity. So now, with these being read, let's bring out this video. And I'm going to let it play.
Yahoo is boasting that he can bring the US along with whatever he does.
Especially today with America. I know what America is. America is something that can be easily pushed to the right direction.
Wow, America can be easily pushed. Even if that is true, it's insulting to hear out loud. And to be fair, Bibi has had a lot of success in pushing America.
If you take out Saddam, I guarantee you that it will have enormous positive reverberations on the region.
My fellow citizens, at this hour, American and coalition forces are in the early stages of military operations to disarm Iraq, to undermine Saddam Hussein's ability to wage war.
Obviously, we'd like to see a regime change, at least I would, in Iran, just as I would like to see in Iraq.
A short time ago, the U.S. military carried out massive precision strikes on the 3 key nuclear facilities in the Iranian regime.
Iraq, Iran, and Libya.
Today, I authorize the armed forces of the United States to begin a limited military action in Libya.
Is running around the Middle East, his region, and his own country, and telling people point blank, just stating it, I control the United States, I control Donald Trump. I'm an American. You can't treat, it's too humiliating. I can't handle that. And I shouldn't have to put up with that.
Benjamin Netanyahu.
So as you can see, this man has been manipulating, over 4 presidents, because they didn't show the fossil that just left office and all of the chaos and confusion that he left in his wake. So, hey, we're close. This guy can't keep pursuing his pursuits without, people are now beginning to acknowledge, the inconsistencies in his lies, in his constant, warmongering, and the world has had its full, So this is what I wanted to bring out. We brought our scriptures out first, and then let you, you can put those where they apply, and I'm sure you'll be able to see where they apply. So, Lord willing, it was edifying. As always, we do full circle. This is Ecclesiastes 12:13, and it reads, "Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear the Most High and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. For the Most High shall bring every work into judgment with every secret thing, whether it be good or whether it be evil." So with that, I hope this was edifying. Pray that this was edifying. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Raha Korash, and double honors to the apostles, elders, bishops, leadership of Great Millstone. Peace and salutations to the house of David, to the 144,000, to the men, women, and children scattered throughout the 4 corners of the earth of the hopeful elect. To you I say, Shalom.